Welcome, everyone. It's another Disney podcast. It is our third anniversary, so welcome. We got this guy, we got Dave, we got Brandon, and I don't know. They told me to introduce the show this week, and I feel like Brandon should be doing it. But hey,
No, you killed it.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Dude, you murdered that.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome.
Love it. Love it. Happy New Year, fellas.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, everyone. It is legit our third anniversary. I think I'm the
Yeah.
only one left standing from the original cast.
Very nice.
I mean, between you and me, the original cast was way better than what we have now. Oh, wait. That doesn't
You
really
don't tell
work.
Rob and Brandon, no. Do not tell those guys.
And
no.
cast? Like, what does that mean? Are we going like full Disney that we're also, if you're part of ADP, you are included in cast members with zero of the benefits.
That's right. And
Okay.
zero of the costumes.
We'll take it.
Oh, man. I don't know. Some of those pants I would not want to wear like anywhere, including a theme park where billions of people go every year.
Okay.
But that's a weird rant tangent that we went off already in 14 seconds. For those of you who have not made it through all 3 years, go back and listen to them. It'll be wildly different than it is now.
Correct. It was definitely more entertaining 3 years ago. Now it's just a bunch of old guys rambling like Statler and Waldorf.
This is
You just
true.
call me and Dave Statler and Waldorf. That's not
That's
cool.
right.
I did.
It's not cool.
Well,
They
we
were the
tried
right
to do
guys.
this. How many times have we tried to do this show? We tried to do it the week after New Year's, and there was something. Was somebody traveling? I don't remember what it was. We tried to do it earlier this week, and like Rob had a great thing on our text chain. He was like, we were all connected through this giant storm that went literally from New York to Florida.
It was.
So
It's
I
crazy.
didn't have power for, I don't know, like 6 o'clock to 11:30. So
I
we
had no
decided
internet
before that
half
to
the
not
night,
do it
so,
just
yeah.
because of the potential threat. But I'm glad we decided not to because I did not have power.
Yeah. I'm glad you have it back. I didn't even ask. That's some friend I am. So
It was
We
like
went
a
to the
normal,
in-laws until the kids were exhausted and then came home and went to bed.
There you go. It was like a normal summertime thunderstorm here.
Super weird because it was January.
Correct.
exactly. Well, I was driving my son home. He's like, it is like typical weather in Florida. I'm like, you're right.
It's so funny.
It
Okay,
wasn't-
we've missed a lot of excitement.
have.
Well, we're not going to cover all of the news because we're going to kick off the year. We'll just reveal. We'll pull back the mask and reveal. We're going to talk about if you're going to Walt Disney World in 2024. ADP has some key things that you need to know. So we thought, what better way to start off the year? And we're going to do this in a 2-part series because we have a lot of key things. Because 3 people come up with a lot of key things. And I actually had a list already, and Brandon said a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I feel like a jerk because he's like actually thinking about this, and I'm like, no, man, I found this online.
Nice.
Dude, I Googled it. I didn't Google it.
So
That's way too
technically,
easy.
technically, ADP doesn't have any thoughts about things you should look for. The interwebs did,
That's right. I mean, everything, like, there's nothing new under the sun. It's all the same.
and I wonder why I've stayed for 3 years. I do this work behind the scenes, and Dave just throws a list out and says, "Nah, dog, we're doing this."
He's like, bro, I'm like, dude, I came up with this dumb idea. Make me do all the work up front. So I did. And then he's like, well, here's a bunch. I don't have 15. And I was like, oh, well, it didn't matter. But next time I'll tell you that I actually did the homework for once.
I like it.
I mean, it was our anniversary show. I thought I had to come up with something useful.
It is. Yeah. I love these shows when you guys, look ahead and see what's coming up. So, because I know some of the stuff, and then like I'm always like, well, where did that come from? And I really learn a lot of good stuff on these shows. So thank you.
So a big key one happened that I don't know, like
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be bigger than it wasn't. So Rob, kind of unpack something that happened that was like 100 years in the making.
What was that?
Mickey or Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah, I'm it's so weird. So, it's actually not 100 years in the making. Mickey
It's true,
Mouse,
because they
Steamboat
extended
Willie.
it.
Yeah, it's if you see the story, it's very odd. But Steamboat Willie, the Steamboat Willie Mickey has become public domain. So I don't know. I watched things, I read it, saw it on the news. I'm still confused what the heck it means. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know there's different incarnations of Mickey. So the Mickey, the black and white, the look, the the Steamboat Willie is in the public domain apparently.
Yeah,
So.
and like that's it. Like that's the
And that's
box.
really it.
Yeah.
So, like, I know Winnie the Pooh last year was like in the public domain, and some
Some
horror
good-
guy
yeah,
made like
some
the
good.
Winnie the Pooh horror movie, which is
Well, guess what? They
They've
have
done the
already
same thing with
released
Mickey.
a poster for the
and now the Mickey and now the big Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse horror is coming next. So
yeah,
it's
that's
why-
that's the fear, right?
Like, why is that your first inclination? Is like, I tell you what, when this cartoon gets released, I'm making him kill everyone.
There's some guy in his grandmother's basement with a neck beard that's been on the internet being like, I can't wait, I'm making a movie. Bro, go outside.
Well, he brought his character back. Was it Smokey? What's your character? I forgot.
No, I don't know what it is.
That was
It's-
Smokey. Ah, God.
It should be. We got to call my voice. We got to name it. How about Mad Margie? It's like I'm so angry.
I like it. I like Mad
I don't
Margie.
know. It's weird, but like, here's the thing. The only thing that I wanted to talk about with this was it. Like, this is a good thing. I know a lot of people were like, "What's going to happen?" And yes, like the creepy Steamboat Willie like knife killer movie is going to happen. 6 people will watch it, including that guy's grandmother. But the important thing to think about is when Walt was doing all this in 1928, he was pulling from this stuff. When you think about the fables and the cartoons and the kids' stories that he was pulling, like Snow White is not an original idea, right? Is it right? And then Little Mermaid was not like drawn up by Walt.
Peter
And so,
Pan, I think. Too,
yeah,
right?
it's important that I think this is how the cycle should be. I think these things are good. I think it's important for companies like Disney to try to hold on to something as big as that. But like, I'm glad that it's just Steamboat Willie and not like all of Winnie the Pooh like they ran into. But as you can see, for the most part, it wasn't that bad, other than the creepy Pooh knife thriller movie, which sounds like going to the bathroom, like a creepy Pooh. Anyway. So I think this is a good thing. This is how it works. It's worked like this for decades and decades. And this is it's like the creators can pull and gain like some of the stuff that we get today from ideas of the past. So that's my kind of like positive rant on it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see much stuff. Like, you posted on YouTube too, like the Steamboat Willie, and the music's still copyrighted. So it just
Right,
kind of
yep.
it was kind of funny that, hey, it's in the public domain, but the music
Yeah.
wasn't. That was kind of bizarre.
It's a super
And then-
small box, Steamboat Willie. And then
Really?
that's everything else.
Exactly. Then I saw some other thing. Someone threw it through AI, like and I know they did a remake of it, like for Mickey's birthday a couple years ago. Steamboat Willie Redo. I don't know how Redux. I don't know how you
I would
pronounce
say
that. But
redo. Yeah.
yeah, Redux. Yeah, and it was cool. It was very interesting. They took 20-something artists, did it, and it never really came out. They showed it at the expo that I went to in New York City, but it never was released. So. But I saw someone else kind of do something similar. They took Steamboat Willie and they threw it through AI. It was pretty interesting, but
Wow.
it was wacky. It was weird. So
Yeah, go to Rob's channel because he posted
Yeah.
like a 4K remastered. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
pretty cool.
the cleanest version you'll ever see,
Yeah.
like online.
yeah,
of it
because
for
they never
sure.
released it, and I went to different artists like their portfolios, and the different artists did it, and I kind of spliced it together. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
So I
it
kind of
does.
liked it.
But there's some really cool things coming down the pipe. Like, as this was talked about, there were some other things that like are going to ring a bell for a lot of people that are right around the corner, such as Gone with the Wind. That's going to hit public
Yeah.
domain in the next few years, as well as I always say Follow the Yellow Brick Road, which is
The
not
Wizard of
famous
Oz. I was thinking
Oz.
that as soon as you
Wizard
said that, I was
of
thinking
Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, is that
Wizard of
34?
Oz.
So
Is that
there'll be
it?
some cool stuff.
Yeah.
What did you say, Rob?
When it come out, 34, I think, something like
maybe.
that. It's just ridiculous when you hear when it came out. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
Crazy.
And it was in color. That's what's insane.
yeah, that was one of the first ones.
Technicolor.
So anyway, I think this is a good thing. But unfortunately, you have
I'm
like
sorry,
some of
39,
the weird stuff.
1939. It came out.
Neck beard. And unfortunately, you have neck beards waiting to take advantage of it. I thought, like, I didn't know much about it. I knew that it was going into the public domain, but I thought it involved way more than it actually did.
Mhm.
Like, at first I was like, man, that's gonna suck. Like, everybody's gonna be able to just slap that everywhere and kind of exploit it. But then, like you said, like, it's a very small box. Like, you could take these 3 frames of Steamboat Willie and you could use those 3 frames and put it on a shirt or a cup or a horror movie.
Yeah.
So it surprised me that it was as little as it was, I
Yeah.
should say. Like it doesn't involve much. It doesn't create a huge blip. Like it was a big story the
Yeah,
day
yeah,
it
yeah.
happened, but
Yeah, that was it.
Like
And
when it started breaking, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, people started talking about it. They're like, Mickey Mouse is going to come out of like into public domain. No, like that would have been a much bigger story.
Yeah.
But it is good to note. I don't remember the years, but this was not like its actual mark of getting there, right? So Disney had Congress extend this
Yeah.
longer than what the copyright or public domain like life cycle is. So I should have looked up what that actually is. It might even be different for different entities, or like
Yeah.
it might be different from music to film to writings. I don't know how it all works, but yeah, it was interesting. So this was already like Disney was scared to like, so that to me just shows they were already frightened as to what could have happened. But I mean, they got their extension and now it's out in the wild, wild west.
looks like it got extended for 20 more years
Yeah,
than
so
it
it's a lot.
should have been. It was called like the Mickey Mouse Protection Act when it got
Wow.
passed.
Yeah, something
through.
like that.
So something like that. So
I want to be a part of
Interesting.
that. Like I want to be
And
like,
they could still do like legal action towards people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they will sue the horror movie people. I don't know. We'll see. I saw like it really wasn't an issue. So I don't know.
they're coming for you, Neckbeard. And so is Marge. Okay, let's jump in. All right. So we
Yes.
want to, like I said, we want to divide this up into 2 shows because hopefully most of you aren't like the Daniels household that's literally going to be there. How many days, Brandon? 2.5 weeks?
He's counting the hours.
Yeah,
So-
we fly in the 25th. I mean, I always book my trips when Brandon's not there, just so you know.
Oh no, you're not going to be there again.
No, just kidding. He'll
No,
be there.
I only won't be there for like 9 hours of Dave's trip. Like I'll be back.
I tried harder. We should have gone earlier. Then I wouldn't have had to see him at all. Next time I'll work it out.
That's correct. That's correct. He told me when he was coming, and I was like, dang it, I'm actually going to be in town.
Yeah, he's actually going to be like 4.5 hours from where we live. But
funny.
yeah, so I'm excited. So if you're not me, you'll get to experience all
And
of
when do you
this.
come back?
We fly back the 30th.
That's my
So
birthday.
it's a little quick. So we're in the park 26, 27, 28, 29.
Rob's birthday.
That's right. Happy 39th, Rob.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, so these are not in a particular order. They're not numbered. We're just going to give them, but there's enough to break it up into 2 shows. And so we'll start with one that really would have made our news story. And that is, you no longer need park reservations. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.
Asterisk.
No music.
So there you go. So unpack that for everybody.
Yeah,
Did
so
that just happened yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day
The
before?
9th.
the 9th. So we're recording this on the 11th. Yeah, happened on the 9th. So just to unpack that for anybody who doesn't know, if you come to Walt Disney World in 2024 and you have, this is the asterisk, if you have date-based tickets, you no longer have to make a park reservation.
There you go. So here's the win. As I was putting our trip together, our 9-year-old son can go wherever the heck he wants, whenever the heck he wants.
Awesome.
Me, on the other hand, I've got to make a reservation because I have an annual pass. But I mean, we're clearly in the minority. Most people will be. And so why is this great for
Wait, hold on, Dave.
non-pass
You have
holders?
to make a reservation, but you could park hop them still.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yep.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Yes.
No, that's fine. Again, these are all, but the first few are going to be like, we could have covered these in news, but we wanted to save them for our things to know, key things to know. So that's the advantage, right? So if you don't have an annual pass, which is going to be the majority of people that visit Walt Disney World in 2024, and why I think this is key, I really like this because it is. I don't want to say this because locals can still really do this, but if you are going to Walt Disney World for a vacation, gone are there days of like, take your family of 4, meander around the park. What do you want to go ride? What do you want to do? Where do you guys want to go tomorrow? Like that is all kind of gone. But at least you don't have to plan out 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, 5 years out, as many people plan that far out, of what park you're going to go to on what day, right? And so I'm a big fan of that for the masses, because the biggest thing is it's not always easy as an AP based on the crowd level,
Mm.
because if weather's going to be impactful on a day, that would certainly determine what park I want to go to. And if I can't change, that really sucks. And so I know that's just one silly example, but I know you guys could think of better ones. But that's at least one thing you can pull off of. Golly, that's one less thing we have to like plan to the T to make sure our Disney World vacation goes off without a hitch.
Correct. And it was always just another step to the reservation. Like you bought your tickets, and there's that big warning that pops up that said, please go to make sure that there's park availability before you book your date-based ticket. So it confused people. The person who comes to Disney once or twice in their lifetime, it was just confusing to have to buy a ticket, then go make a reservation, and then book your fast pass lightning lanes, I should say. So this simplifies it a little bit. It's not a huge deal to me as a pass holder here.
Right.
The talk of the Facebook groups is like, hey, it sucks that we still have to make, like, it's not that bad. Like if they would just integrate it into the app, it would be seamless, right? But
thank you.
It's not that bad.
Not? I didn't realize.
No, it's not.
No.
Anytime you go to book a park reservation in the app, it actually kicks you to the internet. It kicks you to a web browser. Then you have to sign in there. You have to select your stuff, make a park reservation. So that's kind of cumbersome. But to the average annual pass holder, it shouldn't be that big a deal to make a park reservation. And I don't think this was on the list that we sent, but as just to throw another wrench in the system, like as an annual pass holder, there's now also good to go days.
Yeah, they just dropped yesterday. No, this was today. That was today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, today.
So good to go days, Rob, if you don't know and you have an annual pass, those are days that you do not have to make any park reservations. If you are an annual pass holder, you are good to go to that park on that day without making a reservation.
Now, I will say I was hopeful for this, but let's just give you, it just launched, like we said, today. That is January 11th. And January is going to be one of those months. There is no slow time at Disney anymore, but January is going to be a month that is going to have you're not fighting any holiday crowd. Well, MLK Day, I guess that's a long weekend, so people could come. But for the most part, like that's it, right?
Yeah.
And so here are the good to go days in January. I didn't look at the rest of the map. I saw January. I was like, I'm not looking anymore. The 16th, the 18th, the 23rd, the 24th, and the 28th. So that's not even like a full month. And there's 5 days. Over the course of my vacation, I didn't have to pick one day. But it's like I had to pick all the other ones, so I might as well just put it on there. So I had it in my planning, so I knew where I wanted to go that day. So like it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully this is just a start of it going away. Hopefully they're testing this. But like there's literally, of the month of January, the 28th is the only day that is on a weekend day, and that's a Sunday.
Yeah. And I can see why some pass holders are angry about it and they're confused about it, because do I have to make a reservation? Am I good to go? But if I'm going to a park after 2 p.m. on any day that's not Magic Kingdom on the weekend, I don't have to make a reservation anyway. But if I'm going to Magic Kingdom on Saturday or Sunday after or before 2 p.m., I do have to make a reservation. Unless it's a good to go day, then I don't have to make a reservation.
Wow.
So yeah,
Folks, that's our show. My mind is crossed over, bent backwards, and we're out. See ya. That's what it's like being an annual pass holder.
Exactly. That's why I just don't go anymore.
On behalf of the world, I'm so sorry, guys.
If you just don't go at all, then you don't have to worry about reservations or good to go days.
Right.
I just donate to Disney yearly.
That's right.
On behalf of Steamboat Willie, I'm so sorry, guys.
Thank you.
But like we said, for the masses, this is way better. And for clarity, when you buy your tickets, you're still having to buy date-based tickets. That has not changed. So you can't just buy tickets and be like, oh, I don't have to do reservations anymore. Oh, we bought them and we were going to go in February. Oh, our plans changed. We could just come in July. False. They're still physically date-based tickets.
Can you go back?
Don't have to get a reservation.
Can you go back and get a different date? Are they strict about that, or
I don't know. I would call a cast member in
Curious.
the travel side and see what that looks like. I don't want to. I maybe they would allow
okay.
you to if it's not a busier time. I don't. I'm just making this up as I go. I would call them, find out, and then if there's a cost difference, because again, this is like
Oh, that's true.
the hotel
Sliding.
world. Like
Yeah,
the
sliding.
days prices
I
change.
forgot about that.
Maybe
Sounds
maybe
crazy.
Brandon could ask one of his cast member peeps and like maybe report back next show.
I will report back to us.
Yeah, if you could change the date and pay the difference if there's a difference, or
I
get a
will-
refund.
I will report
You
back.
probably wouldn't get a refund knowing Disney. So.
There's no such thing as
No.
refunds, Rob. It's never going to cost less.
No.
Refund,
so here's-
refund is one of those words in Star Wars Galaxy. Like if you said Star Wars in Galaxy's Edge, and they're like, "What's that?" That's exactly what Disney would say.
So
about
I have a
refund.
scenario, Dave. Like, so you're going on the 27th with your son, and you pick Magic Kingdom to the 27th. You get your date reservation and stuff. Could you just go, like you could both just go there, Magic Kingdom?
Yep.
For like
When
an
I
hour,
went
and then
through
go
when I went
somewhere.
through the process in the app, it like both because he's like linked to me because we're planning a vacation together, right?
Right.
Because we're staying at Pop,
Right,
and
right.
anyway, it just says like of the people you have to choose in your party. I forget the verbiage, but it basically said he doesn't have to pick any. He's good to go any day, anywhere he wants to, any days. It's just like me, I had to pick. So yeah, if you have date based, it automatically recognizes that you bought a ticket and you don't have to tell us where you're going that day.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, did I explain that? Not good, probably.
Yeah, no, you did. I was confused, and now I'm not confused. Like, so, like, you bought for the 27th, and you can go any of the parks you want to make that.
He can.
Oh, you
I
can.
had to make a reservation.
Oh.
The only day during our trip is Sunday the 28th. But I'm all like, I was making reservations for every other flipping day. Might as well just.
That's why I didn't pick that date, though. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious, though. But if you say you pick Magic Kingdom, like I don't know if you answered my question. That you have to go to the Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
But
Or
then
go
you-
in the app and physically switch what park I want to go to if it's
Oh, okay.
available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's clear. Okay.
In early January or in January, the likelihood of it filling up is not likely, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't think.
I would watch MLK weekend, like we might see some limited availability just if Floridians and whatever else decide to go, it could fill up.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, what happened on the 9th, and this is a good thing to know, this is also a bonus, and this one is legit. This one is legit good. Park hopping at 2 p.m. is now gone. You can literally go to
Amen.
Magic Kingdom, go through the gate, go back to the monorail, and go to Epcot. No one, why would you ever do that? But it's a possibility you can do it.
I think that's what I was asking. But okay, so
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah.
So now there's no time. If you watch Adam the Woo, one of his latest videos was like, I don't have to park hop after 2, and so he made a video about it.
Yeah. And people ask, like, why would you do that? I've done this I've done this a lot. And a lot of times it involved, like, if there was like a special, like you had to check into like Epcot, like during their
Yep.
festival, sometimes you have to check into Epcot like 5 times during the festival and you get like a special gift. So there were plenty of times we drove to Epcot, walked to the
Oh, that's
gate,
funny.
scanned, waved at the Spaceship Earth, and turned around and walked out and went to Animal Kingdom or went to Magic Kingdom just so we could get our scan in. So the fact that you can do this now,
And they don't penalize you if you go to another park.
Nope.
Nope.
You can park as long as it's after 2 p.m. at that time.
Yes. Yeah. So now it doesn't matter at all. You could go to Magic Kingdom. You could see the Dapper Dan sing at the opening of the park, and then you could just jump on the monorail and go to Epcot and do your thing, which is fantastic. Now, that's not something you're going to do all the time, but as Dave and I talked about all the time, like if you're going to park hop, you never want to stay at a park until 2:00
No.
before you can park hop. And now this also allows you to stack virtual queues, right? Because before, like say I had a virtual queue at Tron and I got in group 10, I could there's no way I could get to Epcot and get in the 1:00 virtual queue for Guardians. If I get an early time at Tron, I can physically be in the park at 1:00 and get Guardians on the same day. So
boom.
All day park hopping is of the list that we came up with. All day park hopping may be my top.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
One.
So now I want to go back and change what we've said. Buying the park hopper option on your date-based ticket is absolutely worth it now. It is worth it again, I should say. The
Yeah.
cost is, and guess what? It's no more than it was when you parked topped at 2 p.m. Like, so here's a benefit that actually, like, we win. Like, they don't charge us anymore. Oh, now they can park hop earlier. We're charging $40 more a ticket. No, I mean, that will happen, I'm sure. I don't know.
But-
Is February still the time frame that they change prices? I don't even know.
Yes, I think so. And keep in mind, just remembering with Dave on our trip, if you try to switch to a park hopper pass 3 days into your 5-day pass,
No.
they're still going to make you pay for the park hopper on the first 2 days that you've already used.
100%.
So keep that in mind. If you're going to switch, if
I
you book
remember this happened with him. What rewind that because I gotta follow that again.
Well, I could tell you. So we didn't have APs at the time. We came last year for 2022 spring break, right?
Right.
Isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Easter.
we bought park hoppers. No, we didn't buy park hoppers, and we bought a 2-day ticket. We went to Magic Kingdom one day and Epcot one day, and then we decided, like, man, it would be nice. Let's bounce to like Hollywood Studios. And so I went to customer relations at Epcot after we'd already entered the park. I don't know if that mattered. I don't think it did. And they were absolutely willing to add the park hopper option to my ticket. But how it works is I did not buy my Magic Kingdom ticket and Epcot ticket as separate tickets. I bought them as I bought them at the same time and bought a 2-day pass. So because I did that, if you want to add it, whether it's the first day or the last day, you're paying for the park hopper option for all of the days that you purchased
Even
originally.
if the day passed.
Yeah.
And
So I
that-
would have physically had to have paid for the day that didn't exist anymore.
Yes. And this was Dave's main argument. And this is why the cast member silently called a manager over, because Dave kept saying, so you are making me pay for something that I cannot physically use.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, sir. That's the
Yep.
way it works.
Yep.
And so
it wasn't a policy that they could override.
yes, they couldn't override it.
Well-
We just say that to be aware now
Yeah.
that park hopping is back. If you're 3 days into your vacation and you're like, man, I really wish that we could jump parks, because we're at Animal Kingdom and
Yeah.
it closes at
Right.
1:30 in the afternoon. We'd love to go somewhere else. They're going to charge you for those first 2 days.
It's probably not worth it unless you have a 10-day ticket.
Yeah, but a 2-day park hopper added extension is probably cheaper than I could almost guarantee it's cheaper than a 1-day. So did it
Oh,
balance out? Like
Um,
the 1-day
don't
park hopper is
remember.
absurd. I forget what it was. It was
don't remember.
ridiculous. It was like I don't remember. It was like 3 something or something for a 1-day park hopper. They don't even let
But-
you do it really.
the moral of the story is you can finally park hop like
Yeah,
you could in
Back
all of
in the
history
day.
since park hopping has been in existence.
like OG park hopping.
Okay, the next one, I'll be honest, I haven't taken advantage of this in a long time, and it'll still be interesting to see how this unfolds because I don't know that we have all the details yet. And that is dining plans are making a comeback. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I know there are people, especially, I mean, it's been years now, but people are all about free dining plans, which
Oh.
those were fantastic. Notice how I said dining plans are making a comeback. Notice how the word didn't begin with free. Dining plans are making a comeback.
Yeah.
That's all fine. So, so now you'll be able to add a Disney dining plan to vacation packages with hotel stays arriving after 2 days ago. A lot of things happened on January 9th. Plans must be purchased for the entire length of the stay. Think about adding park hopper, and for the entire party ages 3 and up. So if you have to buy a ticket for anyone in your family, so now you can add it. So that doesn't feel like, oh, well, nothing's new. Yes, it is new. It wasn't an option. So now it is an option. You can pay for it again. So
Correct.
that is the best way to say. And again, for clarity, it has to be a vacation package. So that's going to mean that it's through Disney and you're staying on Disney property. So those are the caveats to be. And so if you really like that sort of thing and we're always a payer, then nothing has really changed for you other than, yay, they're back. So there you go. I don't know the full options of how they're doing it. My guess is it's going to be like it was post-COVID, where way back in the day, we used to always get the quick service plan, which included like 2 snacks and No, a snack and 2 quick service, which was
Yeah.
great because you could get
believe
like a big old bagel at like Pop Century for breakfast and then get 2 quick service meals. I think that has drastically changed. I feel like the last time
Yep.
Brandon, you guys got it, it was like 1 quick service, 1 snack, or right, or 2 snacks,
Yeah,
1 quick
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. So now I just happened to pull it up. So here are your 2 options with the dining plan. Guest with the you can either get the Disney quick service dining plan or the Disney dining plan. The quick service dining plan enjoys 2 quick service meal credits and 1 snack or drink credit per
Oh,
day.
that's good.
The regular Disney dining plan combines both the casual dining and the quick service. It offers guests 1 table service meal, 1 quick service meal, and 1 snack or drink per day.
That's
Okay,
great.
that's good.
I'll
So
take those.
pretty good. And one thing that was mentioned with that as well, and we always like to say nothing ever is free, but this technically is free and has to deal with the dining plan. If you have Disney Plus, you are
Yeah.
a Disney Plus subscriber on select most nights from I think it was July the 1st
I didn't look at the
to
details.
September the 30th of this year, you will get a free Disney dining plan for members of your entire party if you are a Disney Plus subscriber. So I know we used like when we used to go on vacation, Dave, with you guys, like we always
Yeah.
tried to plan it around the quote
Mhm.
unquote free dining plan, right?
Yep.
You know, they jacked up all-star movies to $90 more a night and gave you the free dining plan. So I can imagine it'll be the same. But hey, if you got Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and you want to hit up Disney when it's 278 degrees outside, you can get a free ice cream that will melt in 3.2 seconds.
That's right. And I think it's worth noting
Uh,
that, like, see, I don't qualify. Like, so we're staying at Pop, and I got to choose or had the option to choose. They were not available. There was an annual pass discount of up to 35% on rooms. Well, very same as this. I'm a Disney Plus subscriber, but I wouldn't qualify for this because I'm not. I haven't looked at this, but I'm almost positive. I'll let Brandon confirm that you have to be staying on property and you have to have bought tickets to go to the park. So therefore,
Correct.
I wouldn't qualify, or I would just leave my annual pass at home and buy tickets just to get free food. No, thank you. So again, again, for the masses, that's going to work.
Yeah.
But like if you're an annual pass holder, there's still some like your best benefit is when they throw out these annual pass discount on rooms. That's going to be your wins.
And there's some great deals for that. We actually booked a room to stay at the Riviera for McKenna's birthday in July. Who knows if we'll actually go, but it was an unbelievable deal. I mean, it was like $400 off the normal nightly rate or some ridiculousness. So
Cool.
yeah, if you can look at those 35% off deals, definitely take advantage of it.
Nice. Have you ever been there or stayed there before?
We've been to the Riviera a lot. We love Topolino's Terrace, so we love going to that restaurant, which is, for those who don't know, that's at the top of the Riviera. It's a great character meal. We usually go for breakfast because it's a little cheaper than dinner, but it's great. The hotel is amazing. Like it is, and you got the Skyliner right there, just like you do at Pop Century, and you can take it to Epcot, you can take it to Hollywood Studios, but we've never stayed there, and we've always wanted to. So
it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful resort.
Maybe we'll try to do that the last day that we're here is a weekday, so y'all wouldn't be able to go. Never mind.
Hey, they had breakfast early. We always hit the 7:15 breakfast. So you know, if you get a 7:15, I could meet you there.
That's right.
Nice.
Well, will you bring your bride and your baby girl? That's why we want to go.
Heck yeah.
Okay. We're going to just mention this because I think we devoted most of either last show or 2 shows ago about it. And that is 2 quick things. Epcot has a new look and a new fireworks show. I will get to experience both of them in a few weeks and add my absolutely useless opinion about them.
But by the way, I was thinking about this. It's not even finished. I thought it was finished over the last show, but they're still working on it.
Yeah.
Like that one, what is it? The one
Innovations West,
Communicore.
Yeah,
like where the festival thing is.
Yeah, the Communicore Hall is still not done. No, Rob, this was such an anticipated area that they were like, man, forget Communicore Hall. We got to open up the gardens.
Yeah, wait, there is something worth talking about. I'm gonna go full screen for this.
Ooh.
The best thing that happened to the experimental prototype community of walls over the past 5 years was that you could walk into the park and break right
Oh, I
and
heard
go
about this.
into right towards like Nemo and
Nemo
living
and
with us. So
Friends,
living
yeah.
with the seas and live with the lands. Now, yes, people are saying that was a backstage area. I get it, but we've been doing it for multiple years now. They freaking closed it.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
that's a bummer.
Oh.
So
It's just odd you have to go
that sucks.
left. It's just bizarre.
Well, now you can go
Didn't see that the other day.
straight-ish. You can go straight-ish, but
Yeah,
still, you're gonna have
true.
to go like you were literally like if you were eating at the Coral Reef, bro, you could walk into the park and be there in 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be a 7-minute walk.
Yeah, well, when Communicore was on the right and left, it really was a pain because you had to go and then you had to cut through. I guess maybe,
Yeah, you split them.
but still, Moana's there still, so you're still gonna have to go around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of a
That's
pain.
okay. It's all right. But
True.
man, I thought that was a huge win and was worth keeping.
Didn't know that was on the table. That was closing up.
Me neither. Didn't
That
realize
was
that.
wacky. I did see that the other day.
Okay, speaking with
Good
the
call.
theme of dining, advanced dining reservations have a new-ish caveat. So let's unpack that. Okay, so here's what's going on. The ADR or advanced dining reservations can be made 60 days in advance of your trip, and they go quick. So in 2023, Disney World's cancellation policy changed from 24 hours to
2
hours.
Oh, that's great.
It's a big jump.
It is a big jump.
So just be sure that you stay on top of your plans. And the biggest thing that you need to take away from this is, well, let's zoom out and talk about what this means. So way back at like forever and ever and ever, you had to cancel 24 hours out of your thing. And so that was when you're like, oh man, we didn't get the place that we wanted. You started pounding the app and looking for, can I get Ohana? Can I get whatever, right? Now you're going to be able to have a whole lot more, I guess we'll say, surprise reservations that right before. So start looking a couple of hours before when you want to land at said sit down restaurant, and you might get a spot. So that I think is the win. And so so how it works is,
Dave, sorry, when does this kick in?
It's already kicked.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's here.
I'm curious to see how you do with that on your trip.
So here's the thing. It's important for people to know that weren't really kind of app pounders. Why this matters is people will always cancel because they'll charge you for your reservation. They won't charge you like the cost of a meal, but there's a charge that goes onto your credit card if you don't cancel then 24 hours out.
What
Now
is the charge?
it's 2 hours before. I think it was $10.
$10 a person.
Yeah.
So like a person. So if you made a reservation for 8 people, it's going to cost you $80 if you don't cancel it. So
yeah. So most people are going to be there with 3 to 4 people, and I think $30 to $40 is worth saying, oh, let's cancel. So, or they're going to have to find out the hard way and go to guest relations and learn that, hey, if you buy a park hopper, you got to use. So that's it. That's what's new. So that's a win for people like who want to change their mind last minute, or if somebody's not feeling good in your party of 8 and you need to cancel, you now didn't lose $80 because you didn't cancel 24 hours out. Yep. And it'll be closer to mealtime that you can start say, well, hey, nothing's been available, but let's start checking a couple of hours before lunch or a couple of hours before dinner.
And here's a little inside information just before we move on from that. If you do forget to cancel that reservation and you're near the place that you want to go, make sure you actually go to the host stand at the restaurant. Say you wanted Skipper Canteen and you're like, man, we can't go and we only have an hour to our reservation. Walk yourself to the hostess stand and cancel with the hostess, and you will not be charged the fee.
Boom. Because, and it's probably worth noting, why? Because they guarantee you they have a walk-up wait list that will absolutely fill that chair and they'll get their money.
Correct.
All right. Moving on. Chugging along. How are we doing? This isn't new. This is not something new that's in 2020, but if you haven't been in the past couple of years, I think this is worth talking about. If you're not mobile ordering through the app, you are missing out. So we're going to call it, that is a key thing or a must do moving forward with all of your Disney vacations. Most quick service locations have mobile order. I don't want to say all because I don't really know. You would think that they do, but I'm at does Connections Cafe? Yeah, Connections.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all quick service
Yeah, there you go.
restaurants have them, and a lot of the snack places.
Yeah, a lot of that's what's like like roaming carts or carts. That's not gonna have it. But if it's
No,
like a brick
like
and mortar,
like Sleepy Hollow in Magic
Yep.
Kingdom has it. And a
what's the
couple
thing? Launching
couple
the launching
places,
pad.
Launching Pad has it. A couple places in Hollywood Studios have it. But yeah, it's definitely a must. And a lot of the restaurants, Connections Cafe mainly, on busy days, if you don't have food, you can't go sit down in there. They're not going to let you just rest in
Correct.
Connections Cafe. So this is a great way to make sure that you, one, have food and you don't have to wait in line for hours. Because last time we were there, the line was out the door to order food.
That's crazy.
And like you can't send your party to go sit down, so that's the problem. So if there's a 20-minute wait, your party can't go sit in a table for
Oh,
20
that's
minutes and
crazy.
take it up. So mobile ordering is an absolute must because it allows you to pick up your food and walk and sit down.
Yeah, concur.
That's awesome.
Rob,
Good tip.
are you a water park guy? Not necessarily Disney, but just
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I do too. Believe it or not, I have never been to a water park at Disney.
Wow, you should
I
go.
think that excuse needs to end soon. Why I bring that up is I think it's important to know. I don't know if this is like a legit thing, but I'm pretty sure if you look back at the calendar over the last few years and maybe even before COVID, the water parks, both water parks are not open at the same time.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So that if you are a water park person, that's a good thing to know. As of right now, Blizzard Beach is the one that's opened, and Typhoon Lagoon is down for refurbishment.
Well, in the days, like I think in the summer they were both open at the same time. Now I think year round there's only one open at a time, right? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I
No,
don't feel like they're
I
ever
think in
both
the
open.
summer,
at this-
well, at least since
In the
COVID,
prime.
they are not
Since
open.
COVID, 100% since
Yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
they're not open at the same time. But before they were in the
Maybe.
summer. It
And
was
what
a
always
it was a
baffles
winter
me is
one, too.
like even during the summer they close so early is the problem.
I
Like
know it's like
They-
Animal Kingdom.
they close at like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So like we used to have the water park feature added to our annual pass, but we could never take advantage of it because
Right.
it was it's not like you could go to work and then get off work at 5 o'clock and go for a couple hours at the water
Yeah.
park. Like it was already closed. So it's kind of like I've never experienced. I mean, I've lived here 5 years. I've never been to a Disney water park. It's just
Crazy.
not. I don't want to go on the weekends because that's when everyone goes.
Yeah.
And then on the weekdays, it's closed before you get off. So just
Yep.
know that one park is open and they
Yeah.
don't stay open at nighttime unless there's an event or something like that that keeps them
Yep.
open at night.
Yeah. I've been to all three, so I'll really date myself. I've been to River Country at least 3 times.
Yes.
So River Country's
Yes.
awesome.
I was there when it opened, but we did not go, which is weird because we
Oh.
stayed at the campsite. I don't know why we didn't
It
go.
was so good. It was so
Rob
good.
We
got
stayed
blown
at
up from
Fort
the water.
Wilderness.
Yeah. So
Alligator water. Let's go.
Alligators.
Okay, we'll do one or two more, and then we'll do the rest of the list next one. Okay, so this one I thought this is not new, but I feel like it's worth talking about. And that is that on-site guests, meaning if you're staying on Disney property, you get early and sometimes late access asterisk asterisk asterisk. So let's kind of unpack it. So again, this is not a new thing. If you're staying on property, what it's been forever and ever, what we're, if you guys remember the day, if you haven't been to Disney in a while, there were these things you probably loved called early magic hours, where the park would open for 2 hours for only hotel guests staying on property, and you had a glorious time in the park where no one was there and there were no lines. That is now 30 minutes. So it still exists, but it is literally a fraction of what it used to be.
crazy. That
Now,
kinda
what's
stinks.
important to know is they also have extended evening hours. However, that only
However.
applies if you're staying at a deluxe and villa resorts. So wah, wah. So they save the extra magic evening hours. And I think those are typically like what it used to be. They're not 30 minutes. I believe
No.
they're typically 2
They're either
hours.
1 or 2 hours.
Yeah, so those are actually worth it. So if you already are that family who, and maybe you're a DVC and you stay at Deluxe and Villa every time, like don't miss out on those, because if you're, especially if you're late owl, if you're night owl family, you can get some great, right? Like that's going to extremely thin out the park When you go to just deluxe and villa, you're talking that's like a tenth of the people that at Disney World. So you'll be able to ride like everything that's open will be a walk on for sure. So that's the only difference. If you're staying on Disney property, you get your early morning magic 30 minutes. And yeah. So anything to add to that? Like, did I unpack that well? Is that right?
I like that. I can't believe it's only 30 minutes. Wasn't it 2 hours at one point? Not even 1 hour. I thought it was 2 hours.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it
maybe
depends
it-
on the park
back
and the
in the
time of the
days.
year.
Yeah. That stinks. But it's
Um,
still good. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I always laughed at that because it's like, all right, if we want to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that's all you
It's
do.
worth it. Yep.
Like you just run, you get to the park, you run to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and by the time you get on the ride, the park is open to the rest of the people.
Yeah,
Pretty
true.
much. Where if you're staying at a deluxe resort, you can ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Peter Pan.
That is true.
Oh, that
So is
brings
there
back,
any other one that you guys wanted? Like Rob, I saw you
Yeah,
like
no, it's okay.
I saw you highlighted that one, but I felt like we talked about it. That's not like
Okay.
I mean, like we can gloss over it. So you are like if you loved the events that happened at key holidays through the year, and so we're talking about Halloween and the holidays, like what we all knew and loved before COVID is back. So the regular, if you didn't know, when they decided to open up the events, or we call them parties, the Mickey's Not So Scary was not like we were used to Mickey's Not So Scary, and the same as Mickey's Very Merry Christmas was not the same. Now they are back to like they were before. So those
Glory.
have returned in all of their glory.
all of their glory, and also the after hours parties have returned. That's
Yes.
my favorite events, and we've talked about this obviously on the show. But the after hours events are the ones you want to go to. If you're going to pick one, the parties are like a regular park day, just Halloween themed. Like
Yep.
they used to be really low attendance. They used to be walk on rides because everybody was all about candy and photo ops. Not anymore. But the after hours parties, these are the ones that include free popcorn, free ice cream, free sodas,
Yes.
and a very, very low crowd because they still limit the amount of people. So they just started these again. I think they had the first one at Hollywood Studios maybe 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And it was either Blog Mickey or one of those other sites was there, and everything was a walk on. Rise of the Resistance was 3 minutes. Like,
Wow, that's crazy.
however long it took to walk through the queue is how long it took them to get on
It's
it.
about that. It might be longer.
And so,
queue.
the park closed at 9, and then the party started at 9:30. So if you were in attendance for the party between 9 and 9:30, essentially the park was yours. They wouldn't let any non-wristbanded guests into the attractions, but they were still open. So the weights were pretty low from what I saw. So if you can, and they're in Disney terms, they're not that expensive, right? So
how long did it go to, Dave?
I think it went from 9:30 to 1:30.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
9:30 to 12. It's either 3 or 4 hours. It's
Okay.
definitely worth it. And it's not, if you're looking at what you can do during that time and how much it costs, like it blows just paying for a normal ticket out of the water.
And I think unlike so our parties that we talked about, you can typically get in, what is it, like 4:00? Like it's crazy early for the but I think for the after hours it's 7, or at least it used to be 7. So don't quote me. Like they would it was a shorter time, but you also got let in early, but just not as early as a party.
Right.
I don't know if that still stands, but I remember it was like you get in like 7 and still so that you could see fireworks maybe.
That's great.
Maybe not. I don't know. They may not do that anymore. I remember that was a thing in the past. Okay. I think that's it for part 1 of key things to consider if you're going in 2024. We hit some exciting ones. I have to look at the rest of the list. I hope they're just as good.
I don't get the cool fireworks, Rob.
I know.
That's so funny.
Oh, some of these are going to be like, here's where your vacation is not fun. Here are the things you have to know. Here are the things you have to work hard on to make sure your vacation is fun. There we go. I framed it positively.
There you go.
All right, man. I miss you. This is a good, I like that we're providing like insight and
I like it.
Information
value versus
Rob likes it.
That's right. Versus like, what are Dave and the guys pissed off about Disney now? I can leave with me because you guys aren't ever mad. I'll lead with me.
Nice.
Fun
this
times.
is good.
Kids. This was good.
This is
Happy
good.
Happy Newish year if we can still do that.
Yes, Happy New
12
Year.
days in.
Happy Newish year. Happy anniversary, guys.
But I
Happy
think that's officially the
anniversary.
last Happy New Year I'm going to give. So
That's right. Let me see if I can get a thumbs up thing in here. Oh, there it is. I got to turn that off
Mine doesn't have it. I don't.
because you're way cooler.
It's probably because I haven't updated my Mac in like a year, 3 years. I don't
Smart
know.
man.
it is a
Smart
Mac
man.
thing, I think. So, well, I don't know.
All right, boys.
Great
All
show,
right,
guys.
kids.
Until part 2, ruin the closer.
Still part time.
Bicycle.
Peace.
Tipo Willie.
That was a different language.
That was creepy.